Awesome.
Lovely.
Let's
Should we
rock.
record?
Recording.
Oh, perfect.
Recording. Do we have Jeff here? Is he here? Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure he's here so when we get to his slides, just be ready, Jeff. I'm gonna toss it over to you when your slides come because man, you got sellies and I want you to lead those. So
Sounds good.
all right, y'all. Well, happy June 1st. Man, it is the middle of the year. Let's go. So excited to have everybody on the call and a lot of new faces on the call as well. I want to start with a few things. Calendar for the month of June. Quick shout out to Jeff. He will actually be a guest on the Lead Advantage here today. So totally tune in there, y'all. What time is that at again? Do you
Three
remember?
Eastern.
3 Eastern. Okay. So y'all definitely jump in there, hearing from our very own, and congrats, buddy, on being on that call. So, and then everything else, right? National Call Wednesday, definitely tune in there. Sales Deep Dive Thursday, and then our master agency will be same time, same channel Friday. All right. Our Mac room of our dreams. Again, this is something I want to pause on, especially just having some new faces on here. You guys, our Mac room is where we go to work, where we go to hang out, where we go to listen to live dials, where we go to, again, just feel like we're working together as a team because we are a team. But be able to, throw questions in the Slack channel or in the Zoom channel and be able to get things answered quickly. And then we do have a direct breakout. So if you go to the bottom of your screen, click on Join Breakout Room, and then you go to the Gains tab right there. That's where, again, you go from the bigger Mac room into a more condensed Mac room, where it's just our direct team in there. So great place to hang out, listen to live dials in the bigger room. And then again, if you want to hang out, be in that smaller room, would definitely invite you guys to be there, to just hear, again, live dials, but also just to be around the fire like we always talk about. So on the other right side here, again, different highlighted calls. Again, pick and choose, right? Maybe a couple that feel applicable to the week, and also just where you're at in your journey in the business and what you feel like you need right now. And if you don't know, I would recommend asking your upline, hey, what calls would you recommend me being on for this week? And they'll be able to point you in the right direction for those. Next, we do want to highlight our Elevate Forward call. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Again, you can see the times there listed. That's going to be more of our general time, right? To be able to go over casework challenges, leads, objective handling, whatever else might be on your mind. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, those are going to be more specific for, the first 90 days, newer agent. It doesn't have to be within your 90 days specifically, but just newer agents. And again, some of the hurdles that we have to jump over and hoops we have to jump through, that we're all learning in our first few months being in the business. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, if that's you, would definitely recommend y'all be on that as well. All right, and then another call we want to highlight is the FAO, the Future Agency Owner Call. You guys, we want to pack this call out. It is a call that has quickly become one of our favorite calls to be on for myself personally. I speak for myself. A few qualifiers just to be a part of that. We want to achieve 85% contract first. Reason being, right, we want to go from 80 to an 85% as quickly as humanly possible. And, that should be a focus of yours. Again, building will come, all of those things will come, but just making sure that we get to that 85 as quick as possible. And then once we start understanding, man, the flow of this, how we're doing things, the rhythms of every week that we're doing things, then it's going to, again, allow us to have a little bit more mental capacity to start truly absorbing and thinking about, man, let's build something big here. And that's a lot of the things that we'll talk about on this call. So definitely want to invite everybody and anybody on that call, when that time feels right. And then engage, man, really until, from now until September, we're going to highlight this and talk about this often. And you guys might get a little bit tired of it. For those of you that are already registered, congrats. For those of you that are not registered, make it happen. Make it happen. It is an invaluable time. You can ask every one of us that have been to this, whether it's a leader, somebody who's been here for a couple years, but you guys, these are the places that we want to make it a point to get to. So yeah, if you need help workshopping how to get there, man, it's far off. There's a lot of time for you to save up and put things aside to be able to get to this. But it's invaluable. Definitely make it happen. Oh, what is happening there? Did we just get a little color? Kristen, was that you?
I am not doodling, contrary to what I believe.
I just was sitting here staring. That's definitely on there.
Someone must have the whiteboard. Someone must have clicked whiteboard. I don't even know how to get it off, so um,
Huh.
I don't know. Whoever doodled,
Oh
don't
wait,
do
I
it
got an
again.
eraser. Oh dear. I don't know what I'm doing. Huh.
If you doodled, could you undo it? And if
I
not,
just
we're just
I
gonna
just
pretend that's not there.
I just doodled and I don't know how to undo it.
Just
Wow.
keep going. It's
All
fine.
right. Well, it's gonna be very present right in the middle
You
there.
might be able to unshare and then reshare your screen. I think that's
Does that sometimes
I,
help?
that's the way to do it. Yeah,
Give
I'm
it the old college
pretty,
try.
pretty sure. Pretty
That's a
sure.
new one.
I
Tech-
did not do it, just so we know. I know everyone's looking at Jennifer thinking, what did she do? It was not me. It's actually mine is actually shut down.
that was
Huh.
fun.
I'm
Oh well,
sorry. I don't
no biggie.
I've never had
No,
that
it's
happen before.
totally fine. Let's just go.
You drew on Monique's beautiful face, so sorry, Monique.
There you go.
Is it all clear? It looks clear
Yep,
on
good to
my end.
go.
So all right. Want to shout out, welcome to the team, Kendra, direct to Mr. Coates. Welcome to the team out in Texas. And then big old slide here. Welcome to the team on our K2 Master. Adrian, Duran, Val, Marley, Pierre. We got Peyton, Janae, and Brianna. Welcome to the team, y'all. And past exam, big shout out to these four, Andrew, Sagat, Madison, and Connor. Again, just passed his exam this morning, dude. Big old shout out. But good work, y'all. Now the fun begins. And Ryan Lunsford hitting 50,000 of submitted business. Amazing work, Ryan. Always putting in consistent work. And great job. Weekend Warriors, we have Alona, 2 apps for $3,400. Amazing job. New riders, we have Johan, $272. Amazing work. Again, getting the flow of that first app is key. For those of you that are ready to write, like just pass that exam, let's write that first app as quick as possible. Again, it gives you the confidence, but it also gets a little bit of money in your pocket to start investing into new leads, right? So, first app is a big deal. Great job. 5K by Friday, week of just this last week of May. Tim Coates, 8,682, and Daniel, 8,020. Good job, y'all. And then 10K, we have two ballers up here. We have Jeff and Gabrielle, 11,393, and then 10,296. And then Gains Master year to date, we are at 1,029,000 and some change with 41 riders. And last year's total, we are coming up close on last year's total number, 1.4 million. And man, we're almost halfway through the year. So that's awesome. And then this will be within April. So these are April snapshot numbers. So not May, but April last month. Total was 138,000 with a total of 145 apps, and overall close rate was 67.8%. So awesome work, y'all. This is across all three agencies. And then we'll start breaking things down individually by base shop. So the Jennifer Gaines base shop, we have 4 riders, 1 new with 10 apps submitted, 15,459. And then again, year to date underneath that as well. But we have Tim with 6 app, 8,682. Mama Gaines, 3 apps, 4,828. And then Sarah, 1 app, 1,265. And Tim Romero, 2 apps, 684. Awesome work. And then again, just breaking things down a little bit more here. But amazing work on this, y'all. Big shout out, especially to the Close rate is an incredible thing. And then also, man, 48 apps is a big old number. So great job to everybody. And
Jennifer, do
then
you want to
Kristen and I
talk
break.
about Snapshot at all? I don't want to glide over that if you wanted to.
I mean, guys, we're continuing to get better and better at our issue place numbers. I mean, the goal is minimum, really goal is 70%. So we have room to grow in that area, but if we can get to 75, 80%, individually, and then on average, just as base shops and overall master agency, that just improves the profitability for each and every one of us. So what that means is what is the percentage of business that is getting issued based on everything that we write. So that is the goal, is to be at least at minimum 70%, working towards 75 and 80 or better. If you need help with that, if you're like, oh, man, I wrote, 5 applications, but only one of them got issued or two of them, like there's some a learning opportunity there on how to write better business and get, your clients covered and get your business across the finish line so that you're getting paid. Um, Instant issue products is going to be a big, big, big key in helping that issue placed ratio. If your name is not on this slide, maybe you were below 50%, or you didn't write anything last month, but reach out to your upline, to your agency owner actually, and your direct AO, and we can tell you exactly what yours was for last month for April. We can tell you what it is on average for the year so far. So just reach out. We want to help educate people more and more on this. So it's something we should and need to keep in front of each and every one of us. That's all.
Dad, you have something to say?
Well, I was going to say, for those that are getting a feel for how this is laid out. So there's a master agency, right? Which we're all a part, all of us on this call are part of that master agency. And then within the master agency, there's base shops, right? So as you're going through, this is the base shop, correct, hon?
Yep.
Yeah. So this is this is a Jennifer Gaines base shop. Then there's going to be the K2 base shop, and then there's the Lipson base shop. So know that there's basically 3 base shops that make up the Master Gains agency. I think that kind of helps give
Yeah,
perspective.
that's a good
Yeah.
call out. Definitely.
As agency owners, you have a base shop.
Yep. So now we'll jump over to Kristen and I's base shop. So again, same thing here, but want to shout out the rest of the team on our direct. But 5 riders, 1 new, app submitted 17 for a total of 22,349. And we had Gabrielle, awesome work last week. 9 apps, 10,295. Daniel, not far behind. 5 apps, 8,019. Greg, 2 apps, 6,539. Some big old apps there, man. And then myself, 1 app, 1,325. And then Johan, 1 app, 272. First application, new writer. Awesome work again, man. And then we'll break that down for our percentage. Similar to that, right? Again, our place submitted was 58.6%. So to Mom's point, right? Definitely some work that we can do there. And the biggest thing with that, like she was saying, is it just, again, we're putting in the work to do this, and our goal is to be able to receive, right, the payment for that. But also, more importantly, we want to make sure those families get protected. So again, it's kind of a double-edged sword with that. We want to make sure that we're doing both of those things well. But shout out to Daniel, 72.5%, man. Awesome work. Greg, again, not too far behind with that percentage, 71.1%. And then Kristen, 69.7%. And then Jeff, brother, I'm going to turn this one over to you. Let you kind of shout out your team, if that's cool, man.
Yeah, sure. So to finish the month of May, so this was, last week in Submit, Patrick came in with an app at $240. Andrew, who has been showing up all over the board here the last couple of weeks and just starting to find his consistency, part of Alona's organization, putting in 2 apps for over 4,000. So that's back-to-back weeks, Andrew, of over 4,000 in Submit, and all of it getting approved instantly for you, which is amazing. And I know that consistency is only coming for you. And then myself, 1 app at 11,393. So year to date, that puts us at just short of 483,000 in annual premium with 17 writers, 11 new. And there's a number of folks in here that are, starting to get off the ground here. So expecting some new writers coming in this month. And then, so this is snapshot for the month of April, like everyone else was just talking about. So not May, not, the weeks we were just talking about, but the month before that. And so as a team, as an agency, we submitted over 100,000 for the second month in a row. We placed a little under 71,000, so that gave us an issue rate of 70.3%, which is really great as a team overall. If we can keep those numbers going, and as Jennifer said, even push towards 75 or above, that would be great. And had 64 applications submitted across the team. So these were highs pretty much across the board for our agency in terms of submit, placed numbers, issue rate, and just really cool to see the number of folks that are starting to really like push over 5K in placed numbers, over 10K in placed numbers. Allison, Alona, David had a big month. Like really, really cool to see. And we're just hopefully carrying that momentum into May, see what those numbers look like, and obviously here into June. So just really excited across the board. So well done, team.
Awesome work. Cool. Thank you, man. And then this is the Gains Agency master, right? So this is May, week 5, month to date. So this is all of May that we're looking at here. So again, I won't go through everybody individually here, but just want to shout out this whole team and really the big numbers here at the bottom. Total 164 applications for a total of $247,000. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mom, but is that our biggest month?
That's a big old month. That was
It's a
a month
monster
to
month.
celebrate. Like, great job to everyone. As Danny Young says, great job to everyone who participated. And
Yep.
whether you wrote an app or whether you were doing your training, getting ready to write an app, or you're in pre-licensing, getting ready to take your test and get ready to write your first application, like it's just so cool. Yeah, it's a record breaking for a 5 week turn in. That's a good point, Kristen. So, but anyway, we're celebrating regardless because there was a
Heck yeah.
lot of work that went in last month. And so great job,
Awesome.
everyone. It's amazing.
So good. So good. Awesome. And then direct new riders, these are just counting up direct new to people that are building. And so again, if you want to be on this slide, got to start building a team, right? But Jeff with 8, Jennifer and Kevin 3, Dave 2, Alona 1, Kristen and I 1, Tim Coates 1, and Dan and Gabs 1 new rider. And again, I know over the next 2, 3 months, these numbers are going to go up drastically. So fired up for all this to come. All right, and then future agency owners to break that down here. Cuchiara, Coates, Kellebrew, Zamerman. We'll break those down here again. 3 riders, 1 new, total 44,000. That's a big old month, y'all. Good job to you guys. And then Tim Coates, 3 riders with a total of 28,422. And then Mr. Dave, 3 riders for a total of 7,545. And Team Zimmerman, 2 riders, 27,977, almost 28,000. Incredible work to y'all as well. And then 100 families served. We love serving families because, again, that means that people, when life happens, are going to be protected. And it also means that there is, we're having profitable agents. So again, shout out to everybody who's helping families. A total of 718 families served in 2026. That's a whole heck of a lot more families that you can serve on just your personal pen. So this is why we build, and multiplied impact is a cool thing to celebrate. All right, and then last but not least here, as we're wrapping up, chase your contract. Type it in the chat, right? What are you running after? What are you chasing? If you're in pre-licensing, man, I'm going to crush that exam, today, tomorrow, next week. If you just got through pre-licensing, man, I'm going to go write my first exam. I'm running after 90%. I'm running after 125%. Who knows? But chase it, and put it where you can see it. And also find somebody that maybe is running after a similar goal, and talk to them, see how they're going to hit that goal, and find a running buddy that way. So, and then this is the progression, right, of that. And at the bottom, you can see how to achieve different levels down there. But again, if you want to see your bubble move, those are going to be your goals to hit down there at the bottom. So awesome work to everybody on the grow. All right, Padre, you're on.
Oh,
You're live.
hey, that was quick. That was 40 slides, just like that, huh?
I know.
Hey, so real quick, y'all, just to take a quick minute, over the next few weeks, we're gonna take just a few minutes here and there to go over uh, some information. And so I got back here, I think last week or the week before, I was out uh, at the home office and did some advanced markets training. And so I wanted to bring some of that information back because there's an opportunity that I want to make sure that we're all taking advantage of. And I think, especially as we get more and more new agents on here that maybe aren't familiar with everything that they've got, that they have access to, that we all have access to at our fingertips. So I will preface this with questions, concerns, comments, ideas. Reach out to your upline if you have any questions on any of this stuff. But basically, I want to make sure that everybody understands. And Jennifer and I have been talking about a lot about this, and so we're kind of putting kind of a framework around it, right? So we'll just take a couple quick minutes. But um, here are all of the items that we all have access to. So of course, we have mortgage protection, life insurance, all the different flavors of life insurance, but leveraging those policies are things that we can do, and we call that advanced markets, or you'll hear the term resets. And so part of that includes debt elimination. Some of you may have heard of debt-free life. People are getting out of debt instead of 24, 25 years, they're getting out of debt in 8 years. So that's leveraging kind of that advanced market stuff. How do you take care of retirement, tax-free planning? So we have access to all of this, not just in our advanced markets, but we've also got fully licensed Series 6, Series 7 folks that can do all kinds of investments that we have access to. So I just wanted everybody to know that these are the things that we all have access to. Why does this matter? Well, because when you participate, and we'll go to the next slide, Kyle, when you participate in a reset, you end up getting literally all you're doing is asking a few questions and turning that over to a resetting agent. Again, ask your upline for some direction on that. So what is a reset? I'm not going to read it, but everybody can read here, right? So basically you're uncovering more information. So when we do an FIF reset, again, get with your upline, and we'll go over some of this over the course of the next few weeks, kind of the more practical side. But when you go through a reset, there's a whole form that you can fill out, get it scheduled with the resetting agent, all those types of things. Here's the thing that I wanted to make sure of. This was probably my biggest aha, is the very bottom one. Y'all, 61% of all of the annuities that Symmetry did in 2025, 61% came from a mortgage protection lead that they did not write mortgage protection. Does that make sense? So the agent didn't write the policy, asked a few questions, heard somebody say, yeah, I don't know about the stock market. Yeah, I've got this 401k money. Yeah, I've got all these little questions, right? That are little things that they heard, and just asked a few questions. So while I was there, the Thursday while I was there, or it was the Wednesday while I was there, one of the SMEs had a resetting agent, and this is what I want to share with y'all, had a resetting agent, a new agent that did a reset, and he that morning got a deposit. He'd been here for less than 2 months, had a deposit for $16,000. And all he did was ask a question to a client that he did not write a policy on. So again, we'll go through some more practical stuff here over the next couple of weeks, but this is an opportunity. I think we've already paid for the lead. We've already had the conversation with the client. We've already built a rapport and gotten to the end of the conversation, to the point where they said no. So you've done the hard work. Why not ask a question or two? So
Yep.
thank you, son.
No, that's huge. Huge, huge, huge. Um, Man, so I'm fired up to have more information on that. And again, just especially for new agents, like practical ways to get into that conversation. That's coming soon. Anyways, thank you. Mom,
Okay,
toss it over
that's
to
it.
you.
If you want to stop your screen share, I'll share mine. We're going to do our quick wheel spin, guys, for April issue paid. In order to earn the $100 lead credit, The qualifications are you have to have issued at least 65% of your business and have written 5 applications. Okay, so those are the qualifications to get into the $100 wheel spin. And also to win, you have to be present on this call. So congratulations to Kristen, Ryan, Alona, Jacob, Jeffrey, Jennifer, Daniel, David, and Greg, all meeting those qualifications for April, 65% issue paid and 5 applications. So we'll spin for the $100 lead credit. You guys can see my screen, right?
Yep.
I will spin. Okay, cool. Let's see who gets the $100 today. Miss Alona. Congrats.
Hello.
Yay, yay, yay. I think she's on the call, right? Oh yeah, there
I
she
am.
is. Yay, perfect. I just saw you. Great.
Thanks,
All
guys.
right,
Awesome,
congrats.
Alana.
That's all. Good job, you guys.
Yeah, good job to everyone on that wheel. Amazing. All right. Well, without further ado, just absolutely ripped through those. No, that was a thank you for hanging with us, you guys, because again, beginning of the month, we want to celebrate. We just have more to celebrate than a typical week. So just so proud and fired up for this team and the momentum that is just being built across the board. And so great job to everybody in the month of April, the whole month of May that we were just celebrating and fired up for what June will hold. Now, for the main event. Man, I get to intro just my best friend. For those of you that don't know, Daniel Cuchiara is my actual best friend. Like the realist, the number one seat. Daniel and I have been friends since third grade. Just a little backstory for those of you guys that don't know us. And man, he is as close of a brother as it gets without being a brother. Everything that he says is just with so much thought and intentionality behind it. And dude, your words hold weight, and your leadership is just evident and prevalent. And yeah, man, you're a pretty great guy. And I could go way more, but for the sake of time, I'll just kind of leave it at that, man. So dude, so excited to be having you on the call and hearing from you. And this call is 100% Daniel. So dude, welcome and thank you for taking the time to make this call for the team and share it today. So
Absolutely, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you for the kind words.
yeah,
And wouldn't be here without you guys. So love it. Love it.
fired up.
Let's dive in. Connor standing at 6'8" and 240 pounds. Yeah, no. That's not at all me. Not at all me. I'll tell you that for sure. I'll tell you that for sure. Well, guys, happy Monday. Happy Monday, y'all. I'm really excited and honored to be on this call today. I have had this call brewing in my head for weeks now. And Kyle called me up on Saturday and he was like, "Bro, I remember you talking about this call." And I was like, "Put me in, coach. I'm ready. I'm ready to dive in here." So, a really quick, like, brief intro before I dive into this today. For those of you who don't know about me, which is a lot of you don't know, like, my personal life and kind of what I have been interested in. I'm a big gun guy. Okay, so before I got into insurance space, I wanted to be a gunsmith. I wanted to be a firearms instructor. Like that was what I thought I was going to do. And so the reason why I'm telling you guys that is because I have always watched a lot of videos of like ex-Navy SEALs and Marines and just love that kind of stuff. Like it's always been a big thing ever since I was just a young man. And so this whole call actually comes from a video that I watched that was it really just rocked the way that I thought about this particular topic. And so this came from about a 30-second video, this whole entire call. And I'm really excited to share with you guys today. So just a little bit of background there. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let's jump in today, you guys. Let us jump in. So title of my call today is Complacency Kills. We're going to dive in today, y'all. Today is going to be a deep one and one that like I said, I've been sitting on for a long time. Yes, Gabrielle, I'm very very proud of the slides I made today. These are all Daniel's brain in here, so I'm excited to share this with you guys. So, title this Complacency Kills. Where does this come from? Okay, so in military bases, a lot of military bases above the doorways, they have this as a sign. Complacency kills. So when people come in and out, they see that every single day. Okay, I think this is a wonderful, wonderful reminder for us to understand complacency and the role that it can play in our life, right? For those of you who don't really know why complacency kills, it's because it leaves us in a state where we are unaware of our surroundings. Okay, complacency numbs our senses so that it makes it so that we do not think that that things that we haven't planned for won't happen or can't happen, right? We think that with complacency that just a random occurrence or a random event just won't happen anymore. We're not aware that something good or bad can be happening in our life. Okay. So complacency kills because it numbs our senses, numbs our senses. Before I get into the meat and potatoes of this, you guys see you guys typing out down here. What are you guys typing about, laughing about? I see Kristen laughing over here. Um, but before I get into this, let's get into some definitions today, you guys. Okay. So, complacency. What's the definition of that? It's a feeling of uncritical satisfaction with oneself, one's abilities, or one's current situation. It often leads to a false sense of security, causing a person to stop trying to improve or to remain unaware of potential risks, dangers, or process flaws. Okay. So it makes you stuck. Let's simplify that. It makes you stuck in where you are. Uncritical satisfaction with oneself, false sense of security, causing a person to stop trying to improve, and you remain unaware. This is huge, you guys. Remain unaware of potential risk, dangers, or process flaws. Okay, key characteristics about this: self-satisfaction, being too comfortable or smug about the way that things are. A lack of effort, a passive state where a person has no desire to improve their situation or expand their horizons. An unawareness, a failure to recognize or prepare for potential problems or emergencies. Okay. Why? Why do we do this? Humans tend to get used to or validate the feeling of that's just the way that my life is. Relinquishing motivation, discipline, choice. Okay, so complacency hits when we feel like this is just the way that my life goes. That is just it. This is the story of my life. And that can be good, which we'll get into. That can be bad. This can be completely neutral, right? How many of you guys at one point in your life or another got to a point where you said, this is just my life. It's just my lot in life. This is just what I'm gonna have. Okay. This is the way that it's gonna go. You relinquish a control of the future of your choice of things happening. Right? So when we get into this place of going, this is just the way that it is. This is just my life. What you're doing is you are relinquishing complete identity of saying, I can actually change the situation, but it's kind of just the way that it's going to go. This is kind of just the way my life is. That is complacency. Okay. That is what we know as neutrality, complacency. I call it stagnancy, which we'll talk about as well. That's the point that you guys, that me, myself, I'm speaking to myself today, have been in time after time after time after time going, I just can't change this situation, which is a lie. Okay. So when we look at our life and our experience, let's talk first about the question, what is your world? Okay. Is your world work? Is it friends, family, hobbies, faith? Are you caught up in just yourself? Are you your world? We have to know what your world is to know where you're becoming complacent, to know what is happening here inside of the complacency in your life. Okay. Have we lost touch of the different areas in our life? Okay. So what's your experience? Maybe it's work. My job is fine. I get it done. Friends. Maybe you want a better community. Maybe you want better friends, or maybe your friends need to be called out, but you're just like, oh, they'll figure it out, I hope. They'll get there. Family, we don't really talk, but I wish we did, right? Faith. I don't know about you guys. I don't know what your faith is, but my faith is I believe in Jesus. That's part of my life. That is a huge part of my life. Okay? I'm sure things will work out at some point. Hobbies, I'm not great at it, but maybe I will be. And yourself. I'm doing good enough. Doing good enough. Okay. There's a theme here, you guys, and it's this, the how. If complacency kills, then your experience with it bleeds. What do I mean by that? If your experience with complacency in work, if that kills your work life, my job is fine, I get it done. Well, guess what? That's going to bleed into your friendships. Now your complacency is going to kill inside of your friendships. Oh, they'll figure it out. They're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. It'll all work out. When you grow complacent with your friends, you grow complacent with your family. We don't really talk. I wish we did, but I'm not going to take any steps to actually make that happen. So on and so forth. What it always comes down to, though, and I created this intentionally, is you. Complacency is an identity, whether you guys know it or not. It is, I'm doing good enough. I'm okay with where I'm at. I'm doing well. I'm writing good numbers on the board. I'm on the leaderboards every week. I'm uh I'm showing up. I'm dialing an hour a day. This is fine. I'm doing good enough. Maybe it's your hobbies that you're coming into. Maybe it's the family. We're doing fine. You know, could be better, but I'm okay with where it's at. Or maybe it actually comes down to you being so successful at that thing that you're like, I'm just complacent here. I'm doing great. I don't need to change. Why would I need to practice? I'm doing really well. Why would I need to self-develop when everything's going right for me right now? Why would I need to go do XYZ when what I'm doing now is so successful? Complacency inside of success is a huge killer. Complacency inside of lack is a huge killer. There's two ends of this here. Okay. So look at your life. Today's June 1st, 2026, right? What is your life? What is your world today? Is it friends? Is it family? Is it work? Is it a combination of all of these above? Should be. We tell all of our agents and we tell everybody else that we talk to that this business is very holistic. For those who don't know what holistic means, mind, body, spirit. Okay. When complacency grows, it grows in one of those areas, mind, body, spirit. I can be really good at getting up every day and being motivated to work out body. And then maybe I'm really motivated to go and spend time self-developing. But if I'm missing that spirit piece, if I'm growing complacent in that, man, I'm sure things will work out at some point. Well, then guess what? That bleeds over into the other areas. Maybe I get up tomorrow morning and I decide I've been working out every day this week. I don't really think I need to do it again today. I've been self-developing a lot. I just read a couple of books. I'm doing pretty good on that front. I don't think I really need to increase that more. Okay. Take a look at your life. Take a look at your world and understand, where is this sneaking in? Where is complacency sneaking in? Okay. Now, let's get to the root of complacency, you guys. If you guys, let's give me, I just love some engagement really quick. Maybe just type it into the chat or say it out loud. What do you guys think, before I move on, what do you guys think the root of complacency is? Fear. Ooh, that's so good. Fear. Mindset and action are not equal. Laziness, apathy, doubt, motivation. Yes, absolutely, guys. Great words. Comfort, failure, self-deception. Yeah, Gabrielle. You know, you know. Self-worth. Ooh, Anna. Shoot, it's good. Root of complacency, you guys. Repetition. Okay. When we continue to repeat things, we tend to get complacent in that thing. Okay. Good or bad? Let me explain. I'm going to make it personal about this business. You guys are dialing on the phone. You're dialing those bonus leads. You're working those CIHs. Call, no answer. 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 Nothing after nothing after nothing after nothing after nothing after nothing. Then somebody answers. Hey, this is Daniel following up on that mortgage protection request you just made. Hang up. Call again. They blocked your number. Call, no answer. Call, no answer. Call, no answer. What happens? Complacency sets in. You start to go, nothing's ever really going to happen here. Are these leads actually good? Is this going to be okay? Or, I think this is just the way that it's going to go. And you know what happens when that one person answers and they're ready for that thing that you are trying to help them out with? You are complacent. You treat it as if they're just going to be like every other no that you got, because you're not practiced, because you don't have the mindset and the intentionality to go, this could be the one. I'm going to grow my skill. This could be the one. On the other end, time after time after time after time, maybe you're winning. Maybe you're getting people on the phone. Maybe you're writing applications. Maybe you're writing, your 5K weeks and you're doing your thing really well. And you know what happens is you go, man, I'm hot stuff. I'm doing really good. I don't need to practice my scripts. It's working. I don't need to practice my tie down. I don't need to practice the way that I talk to this agent. I don't need to practice my objection handling. Why? Because you're complacent. Because what you're doing is good enough. It's working. Why change it? Why practice it? I've been here, you guys, many times, many, 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 many times, Repetition after repetition after repetition after repetition, nothing after nothing after nothing, and something after something after something after win after win after win. Either way, complacency is a trap. It is a trap. Ooh, let me make it really good here. You guys don't even want to hear this one. The most successful people on this call, the ones that you saw on the leaderboards today, they're all on camera. The complacent ones are the ones that go, I can show up for the call. I don't really need to be on that camera and I'm paying attention to people, paying attention to the people that are speaking. I can tell you guys and look here and tell you the ones who are here are the most successful ones. The ones that show up on camera, the ones that show up and actually are here and involved, they're the most successful ones. Complacency kills. Okay. Manny, totally understand that. You're not the person I'm talking to. What's the problem? The problem is you. Problem is you. Complacency is an identity. Okay. You have to look at yourself and go, I'm the issue. I have to look in the mirror every day and go, how do I be the better version of that man that I see? How do you guys be the better version of that woman that you see? How do you recognize the areas of your life where you are growing complacent and you need to be better at? We are the problem, right? We're the ones that allow ourselves to get to the point of saying, this is good enough. It's okay, good enough. Or this is just the way that life goes. Just the way that life goes. There's two routes that complacency can lead to: stagnancy and self-deception. Okay. Stagnancy is going, life will never get better than where it is now. I hope it does, but I'm just going to live like this. This is fine. Totally fine. I'm going to grow stagnant here. If you guys have ever seen something that's grown stagnant, it's disgusting. Like food or like a dead animal or you name it. Okay. Yeah. Water, stagnant water, Kristen. Absolutely. It's disgusting, right? You wouldn't look at that thing and be like, oh, that looks really good. Yeah, that looks really awesome. I really want to eat that, or I really want to jump into that pool, or I really want to do XYZ. We don't ever look at stagnancy and say, yeah, that's a really cool thing. So why do we look at complacency and say, I'm okay with this? Okay. Second thing, self-deception. Ooh, speaking to myself, self-deception is, I'm doing great. I'm doing awesome. This is the best I've done. Why would I need to practice more? Why would I need to be better at this thing? I'm already doing great. It's going to continue to be great. Is it? Or are you deceiving yourself and saying, it's good now, but what about in a month from now? What about in 6 months from now, in a year from now, when you stop practicing and you stopped honing in your craft? What about then? Where does that complacency come from? Where does that self-deception look like for you? We all do it. You guys just aren't aware of it. I wasn't aware of it. We all do it. Well, I'm doing so much better than they're doing. Uh-oh. Comparison. Complacency kills. Okay. When you get too comfortable in your environment, you go on autopilot. You start to cut corners. You miss subtle warning signs and stop anticipating risk. You breed a dangerous loss of awareness. How many of you guys know on that drive to maybe the grocery store and the drive back home, how many of you guys are actually aware of what you're doing? You've done it a million times before, and you might get to the grocery store and then you might get back home and you realize, I don't actually remember how I got here, and I don't actually remember how I got back home. Why? Autopilot. You're used to doing the same thing over and over and over again. But what happens when you go on autopilot is you lose awareness, and not just lose awareness, but it's a dangerous loss of awareness. What can that lead to time after time after time again is realizing you're missing those warning signs. You stop anticipating the risk. You cut corners. Okay, I'm not saying this to offend you guys. I'm saying this because this is true. This is what we do. And we do it everywhere in every aspect of our life. Maybe it's leadership. Maybe it's friendship, relationship, to go, uh-oh, I haven't actually been seeing the signs of somebody on my team. They're not doing that well. Why not? We're on autopilot. Maybe it's a friendship of yours. I haven't really seen that person in a while. Wonder what's been happening with them. You lose awareness very quickly. Okay. When we lose awareness, you guys, we lose everything. Complacency kills. How do you fight it? Okay. How do you fight it? How does when complacency sneaks in, and by the way, it does sneak in, it is a thief in the night. It comes and it decides to take away a lot of things from you before you even recognize it's happening. How do you fight it? Number one, awareness. Simple. The ability to perceive, feel, or be cognizant of events, objects, or sensory patterns. It is a state of having knowledge or understanding of a situation. It serves as the baseline for conscious thought and interaction with the world. What are you guys unaware of? What am I unaware of right now? When I look at my life, when I look at my business, when I look at my friendships, when I look at my relationship with Gabrielle, when I look at my hobbies, when I look at everything that I do on a day-to-day basis, am I actually aware of what I'm doing? Or is it just autopilot on every step of the way? Are you actually an aware person? And if not, the good news is you can start today. That's the beautiful news about that. You can start today. I have an awareness of what's going on around me, my environment, my relationships, my business. I have awareness of yourself. If I was a betting man, I would bet to say most of you guys, myself included, the place that we have the least amount of awareness is in ourself. Who am I? How do I lead? How do I develop? What are my skills? What are my strengths? What is my voice? What do I actually do really well? How do I interact with others inside of that? Awareness is everything. And the thing that backs awareness is discipline. Okay. The ability to make yourself do things you should do, even when you don't want to, in order to reach a long-term objective. It is the bridge between goals and accomplishments. Okay. Complacency says, you're fine. Or this is just the way life goes. This is the way life goes, or you're doing it so well right now. It's okay. You can coast for a little bit. Totally okay to do that. You can take 3 days off, 5 days off, two weeks off. It's fine. But discipline is the thing that creates us being so much better than we are now. You might be good now. That's awesome. Discipline is going to make you better. You might be struggling now. Totally fine. Discipline is going to make you better. Okay. So discipline comes down to those habits that you do on a daily basis that make you so much better. I don't care where you are in this business. I don't care if you are studying for pre-licensing, and I don't care if you're at the top of this company. If you do not have discipline on a daily basis in your actions and the things that you do every single freaking day, then you will fall behind. Okay. Discipline after discipline after discipline after discipline. It's repetition. And you know what the cool thing about that type of repetition is, going back to the root of complacency, is the repetition of discipline. You will never grow complacent because your goal with discipline is to always be better. So, awareness, where do I need to be better, right? That's number one. Where is my awareness? Where do I need to be better? Where do I need to improve? What is that area in my life or multiple areas? And number two, discipline. I'm going to be better at that area. I'm going to practice my script every day. I am going to practice the way that I talk to my agents. I am going to practice studying for this dang exam. Connor, I see you, brother. Day after day after day after day after day after day. It doesn't matter if you fail. It doesn't matter if you fail. Doesn't matter if you fail. Doesn't matter if you get nothing. Doesn't matter if nothing happens. Day after day after day after day, it is discipline. And let me tell you guys, you do not get stuck in the cycle of having nothing after nothing after nothing after nothing because you see whether it's a micro or a macro change. Doesn't matter. Day after day after day after day after day. Okay. So we know that complacency kills, right? We're all aware of that now, how it does that, the ways that it can do that and sneak into our life. But at the end of the day, always action brings life. Okay. Your actions are everything, whether it's in this business, your dials, your appointments, your contacts, your tie down, how you decide to work this thing. If you're in pre-licensing, studying, making sure you're going to pass those practice tests to pass that state exam. Whether you're a veteran agent who's building an agency, talking to agents, talking to new people, sharing this opportunity, making sure that you're excited about this thing, it is action time after time after time after time. And you know what action brings? Awareness and discipline. You can have action that leads to complacency for sure, but it's probably because you're unaware and you're undisciplined. That's it, guys. That's all I have for you. Happy
Woo,
Monday.
mercy.
Sheesh.
I
Brought
had
that
so
heat,
many little
Daniel.
notes in that call, Daniel, that I'm like, oh, I'm gonna just touch on that at the end. I'm gonna touch on that, and then I'm gonna touch on, like, dude, every 5 minutes was like the note that I wanted to take away, like the nugget I wanted to take away. So I have, yeah, a handful of nuggets now. Dude, that was a perfect call. Truly, like that was a perfect call and a timely call and a call I needed to hear and a call I will go back and listen to. Absolute cinema, as Manny said. But dude, I'll say the one thing I will say, and this is you, and one my word for this year, again, if you guys do a yearly word, but is joyful discipline. And I think like you are somebody that is I think we sometimes get this idea of like discipline, discipline, and it feels like hard and heavy. And again, the way that you presented that was not at all like that. I just sometimes think that naturally. And you are a joyfully disciplined person. And I think it's through this consistency, through moving, through not being stagnant, that like being joyfully disciplined, it's like a feedback loop. It just the more you do that, the more joyful you are, the more disciplined you are, like the more aware you are. And that is you, man, to a T. And I know that this call is years of hard work to get to this point, right? Of doing those things over and over. So, incredible call, incredible notes. And thank you for sharing that today, man.
Thank you. Thank
Money.
you guys for having me. And I've seen some people said share the slides. I can definitely share the slides and get those over to you guys. But
Yeah,
thank
seriously,
you.
those need to be like printed and framed, bro. Money,
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it, you guys.
definitely. Well, thank you, Daniel, and hope y'all have an awesome week and start the month off strong. And it's going to be a great week.
Love it.
Sounds
Happy
good,
Monday, y'all.
y'all.
Awesome
So good,
job, guys.
Daniel.
Thanks, Daniel.
Thanks, guys.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.